Hello, I'm Leisa Holland-Nelson, co-host of Culture Club HTX.
And I'm Shavonnah Schreiber, the other co-host of Culture Club HTX.
And we're here today back in front of the fireplace because we got such extraordinary response to being in front of it on the YouTube that we did here.
Yes.
And so we've decided that we're going to be doing a weekly YouTube in front of the fireplace with friends at the fireplace.
That's the name of the segment.
The name of the segment
yes.
for Culture Club HTX, but more exciting, today we're going to do fashion at the fireplace and we're going to do fashion friends at the fireplace.
I mean, the alliteration keeps coming and my heart keeps singing.
And you love it.
I do. I love it.
And so we're going to be fashion friends at the fireplace today, and we are already fashion friends. Mm-hmm. But when we end this segment, you might want one of your own.
That's right. So this all came to be because we got feedback from our show that said, we love all the segments, but whenever you get to fashion, you've run out of time because Lisa's talked too much. And
it's always me.
Right. And we want to learn more. We want to go deeper. So I said, okay, great. Let's do our first friends at the fireplace on fashion. And that's what we're here to talk about today. But more importantly, we're here to talk about the intersection of personal style and brand, fashion, sure, confidence and success.
It's psychological.
Yes.
At best. I mean, it's so much more than just fashion, which we already kind of talked about. Yes. Fashion being a trend or something that's passing, and style being lifelong and yours.
And the personal style.
Your personal style. As we talk to each other about all the time, your style presents wherever you are and whatever you do and wherever you go, and whether you're working or playing or dating or being alone in your home.
That's right.
If you don't feel good about yourself, which means to you personally, you look good.
That's right.
To you personally, you look good. Then you can't look good to anybody else.
Agreed. And I think it's because one of the things that I know is true, and I know this is true for you as well. First, if you don't feel confident about whatever it is that you have on, whether it's at home, as a matter of fact, I actually have clothing that is my house clothing. Now, house clothing, some people may...
I do not have.
I have house clothing.
I have a lot of cheetah pajamas.
Right, but I have house clothing, meaning there are things that I wear if I'm just in and around my house when I have my resting and nesting days. Mm-hmm. But it's cute. Like, I mean, it still looks cute. I still feel good in it. It still looks good on me. And if you don't feel confident, then that impacts how you engage with the world. So if I, for example, need to go walk my dog in one of my house outfits, I feel comfortable that I may see a neighbor. I saw Sandra one day. She was there looking at an apartment and I saw her and I was like, oh, I'm so glad that my house clothing is still an extension of my overall style, because otherwise then you're all embarrassed.
Okay.
Okay.
Your house clothing and you are different than most humans. I'm just going to say that. First of all, you're walking a dog. You live in a high-rise. Mm-hmm. I mean, I live in a high-rise. I'm not walking a dog. My house clothing is either the spin clothes I was in since 8:30 in the morning.
And now it's 4 p.m.
Yeah, at least. And maybe 48 hours later at 4. Or my cheetah pajamas. I have so many cheetah pajamas that my daughter made sure I got black silk pajamas for my birthday. Which I've worn once, Laura. I'm wearing my cheetahs. I shouldn't say that out loud, but the fact is, I wear cheetah pajamas.
Well, but okay,
it's my look, and it makes me happy.
It's your look, and it makes you happy. So even though you say those are cheetah pajamas, that's your house clothing, and if someone were to come to your door unannounced, you would feel comfortable because that's what makes you happy. So one interesting anecdote: I was having this conversation with someone, and they said, "Well, a lot of times people weren't taught, maybe as even young people, like children, what looks good on them." So they don't know even where to start. As an adult, they are clueless to where to start, what colors look good, what cuts look good, what fabrics work well for them, which is fair. So another anecdote, we did a Veronica Beard live or not, right? Thank you, Veronica Beard.
I'm in Veronica Beard today.
As we are always, usually. So a friend came and they said afterwards, that event made them realize that they needed to refresh their wardrobe. And they said, but I don't even know where to start. They need everything. They need workout clothes, because they said, I would like to look cute when I'm out and about at playgrounds, etc. So it doesn't matter if they're going to work or if they're around their home, they want to look good. And so we started to have this conversation. So I'm their fashion friend. So having this conversation, I said, well, first of all, whose style if you don't know what your own style is yet, or you're trying to discover it, think about the people that when you see them, you say they look great. And it could be anyone. It could be a neighbor. It could be someone on television. It can be a colleague. It doesn't matter, but someone who you just think always looks good. Figure out that sort of style, I guess, North Star for you, and then go from there. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I totally agree, and I'm going to go a little bit further, having spent all the years making clothing for people who wanted to look fashionable. And everybody needs to understand there is nothing more important than great basics. Everyone needs a great white shirt, a great black crew neck sweater, black turtleneck sweater, blazer, black, probably black skirt, black pants that you love. And at this point, you need pleather leggings.
Probably.
If you have those pieces, and probably a really good-looking black chic dress, a little black.
I agree.
Then you can go to town with accessories. And there's so many options today with accessories between jewelry, pearls, gold, silver, whatever.
Multiple
She has a multiple bunch of brooches on. Scarves, which have made a major comeback in the last couple of years, and scarf accessories. And there's different ways to tie them, and a shawl will take you everywhere.
This is true.
You can totally transform, and then you go and get the basic underpinnings, the shirt in more colors and colors that you like.
And that work for you.
The sweater, colors and colors that you like, but generally colors that you love are colors that work for you.
This is true.
So Shavonnah has an affinity for finding your colors. I have an Xfinity, whatever you call it, for it, because when I was doing Evan back in the day, well, but that's another story. Purple was a beautiful color. I didn't tell anyone that was the only color they should wear. This whole summer, fall, winter, spring thing, it was a gimmick to begin with. It sold a whole lot of books. It probably sold a lot of clothing for the people that signed on and licensed it and all the other stuff. But the fact is, you are not a summer, spring, winter, whatever.
So in short, you can wear white whenever you want to?
Not just that.
Okay.
You can wear white. The other one is, if you are a summer person, you should be wearing white all year long. White comes in every single fabric.
And shade, right? I mean, like, this is creamish white. But I think you're correct. And I think the reason I say colors that work for you, but also, like what you said, usually the colors you love are the ones that work for you because you feel confident in them.
And you love them.
And usually, if you really think about it, it's like my story of the green sweater. I had this green sweater from J. Crew, just a random green sweater that I purchased, 400 years ago. And I would get compliments every single time I wore it. And finally, I said to someone, okay, I have to ask you, what is it about the sweater? And they said, the color looks good on you. Well, I took that as a sign.
You have a lot of green.
I have a lot of green, and every time I wear it, I get a compliment. So that was a color that wouldn't have been my first choice, but now I know it's a color that works.
But it's bright green you wear, Kelly green, which is just gorgeous on you. It really is.
And so you need a friend that will tell you the truth. So I have a friend that said that they do not look good in red. They do not look good in red, and so therefore they don't buy red. And I said, okay, well, fine. Because even if they do, because they don't feel they do, they're not going to answer.
Nothing you can do about it.
Exactly.
I mean, I think, and I have it on right now, I look terrible in red lipstick.
No, you look great. I just gave you a compliment.
I know you did, but growing, it's just something I've had all my life, and I forgot my lipstick today, so I'm in the only one that's in my bag, because my bag is not Shavonnah's bag. Her. We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that another day.
But so I'm in red lipstick.
It looks great.
It's long, and this is a stay on. It's not going.
So you're gonna have it. So you see Leisa, be sure to be like, I love that lipstick. But I also think another thing that's really important, because we talk about business on our show a lot, and I think that this idea of brand, personal brand, clothing, all of this knits together and ends up helping you to be successful. Because when you walk into a place, and let's talk about a place of business, you're there to conduct business. If you don't feel confident, then even if you don't realize it, you're almost hiding. You don't want to engage. You're not walking as tall. And that then will impact how you engage with whoever you're there to meet with. So I think it's important that no matter what, that you feel confident. And this kind of goes back to our whole conversation.
Well, we're back to you are your brand.
You
are your brand. You are presenting, whether you're presenting yourself, your company, you're trying to sell a product, you're trying to sell yourself. Whatever it is, you're always selling yourself, basically. And everyone who knows me, and probably you at this point also know, that I believe presentation is 9/10 of the law.
That's one of your 7 rules.
Right. And the other 10th doesn't matter. If they don't look at you, they don't engage. I mean, you used to say if they don't look at you, they're not buying from you, but they're not buying anything from you. So we feel, both of us, you agree with me?
I do.
Very strongly that it's worth taking a little time to put yourself together fashionably, because pay attention a little bit so you don't look like you're in the 18th century or 19th century, that you really are part of this century. I think that's important.
Well,
and there are some trends, honestly. There's some trends that I'm never going to wear. I didn't wear the first time.
Which
the whole prairie dress, floral,
I'm not in the
ankle length.
Yeah,
I'm just not going to do it. And yet I see people in it. They look really
They look great.
pretty.
Yeah.
I wasn't much of a boho chic
Well,
person.
you're not dainty, remember? This is going back to
Well, we could go back to that. but I see some big people covering up a lot of stuff. But no, I see women in it. It looks so pretty. I go try it on. It looks stupid to me on me.
Here's another thing that's interesting. I am also an advocate of a uniform. For example, say a person said, you know what, ladies, this all sounds good. I like black and I'm going to always wear black, the end, point blank period. Okay, fine. Then to your point, those classic pieces, and even if you wear it over and over and over again, if it's well made and it looks good, no one will even notice that it's the same black sweater or whatever.
Trust me.
No one will even notice.
I went through weeks of wearing the same sweater or the same black skirt or the same, what I mean? Like just repeating and repeating. And I was in New York City, in the heart of the garment center, in the fashion
and no one knew.
Oh no, every day, there was a different accessory.
Right.
And that made a big difference.
So I think a couple things we've talked about. Number one, how important it is for you to take time and be intentional. We talked about that intentionality around putting yourself together. Number two, knowing what works for you, and usually that's going to be what you feel most confident and comfortable in. Try some things out, just walk around your house in your house clothes or whatever, and kind of test it out. And then number three, even if you're unsure and you don't want to venture out too far, those 2 or 3 pieces that work, keep wearing them, accessorize them differently, and then see what happens. I have a feeling that could help for those that are saying, well, I don't know, this fashion thing is a little bit intimidating, which I get. Just find those few pieces that work for you and wear them as much as you can.
And one last, unless you have another one.
I don't, see.
So it's number 5 kind of. You just did 4.
I did 4, I did 3. Anyway, okay, what's the
whatever.
next one?
This is the last one.
What's the next one?
There might be another one after the last one, but hey, this is what we're calling the last one right now. And that is, we really believe you should find a fashion friend. And so what's a fashion friend? A fashion friend is someone that you admire their style. You admire the way they dress. You admire the way they present themselves. You trust them. And when you find your fashion friend, if you ask them a question, you have to trust the answer.
True.
I mean, I had an experience like this a couple of weeks ago with a gal I absolutely adore, who's just the cutest thing in the world. And she's a big executive with a real estate company in Houston. And she looked at me and she said, should I cut my hair? Now, she had this rat's nest of hair that was down to here and all getting thin at the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I said, absolutely. So she says, well, another friend of ours said I shouldn't. And I said, have you looked at her hair? I did. I said that. I mean, there's a point at which when you're running almost $1 billion business, there's a look, and it isn't this flyaway, split ends, messy hair anymore. Right. And you can make it messy all day long on the weekends or at home or whatever. But it's just, there's a look. And I've noticed, even at our Tickle Pink luncheon last week, a lot of women showing up like they almost hadn't combed their hair.
Right. Well, it's interesting.
It might have gotten styled that way, but it isn't very good style.
But I agree. Polished is always in style. Polished in whatever,
so
fabric or whatever. The polish.
This is my fashion friend lately.
Mm-hmm. So one other thing, it's interesting to me, to the point you made about someone who has a big job, lots of responsibility, lots of eyes on them, and appearance is important. Oftentimes, so say someone they become a public figure or they just have a really big job. Then someone, usually a fashion friend, will tell them you should go and meet with a stylist.
Yes.
To pick, and you know why? Because it matters. Because they don't want someone to not engage because they don't even see them, or to be distracted because whatever they have going from their presentation doesn't seem to work, right? Like, we're making these judgments because we're visual people. Humans are visual creatures. That's just what it is. So subconsciously, you make assumptions, you make judgments. Can I trust this person or not? Will this person take care of my business, my account, my money or not? And I think the connection is, if you have rat's nest hair or you look disheveled, in your mind, you're going to think no.
That's what I think.
I think that's true.
I've been known to be called names by my child. So
it's true.
That is what I think.
It's the truth because it's science. It's the truth. And so what we're here to offer is, again, we understand that this world of fashion and all the different things can be overwhelming, can be intimidating, and there is a space for all of us within it. And it all starts with your personal confidence, how you feel, and then how that informs how you engage with the world.
So that is the perfect way for us to end by saying, stay focused
and stay fabulous.